Hello everyone and welcome to this new Rollercoin video. In this new chapter of the free-to-play tutorial we will talk about the task wall section, which has also been redesigned very recently. In this way we will take the opportunity to understand together how it works. If you have missed some topic of your interest, or if you have recently approached Rollercoin and want to learn the basics by following a logical path, I suggest you follow these tutorials in the order in which they are organized in playlist. Also, if you haven't registered on Rollercoin yet and want to support this channel to produce new videos, consider registering using the link in the description of this video. You will receive a small initial bonus in Bitcoin Satoshis. It is absolutely not mandatory, but if you do it, it is something that costs you nothing, and for that I thank you. As you can see from my mining farm setup, I recently got hold of the current season skin and here it is. Don't mind the mess on the racks. I haven't had time to organize my miners according to a logic, but also remember that these things are not important. Much better to focus on what you really need for your progress inside of the game. In today's episode we will talk about the task wall, a particular section of the game which, as we will see, has lights and shadows. Some love it, some hate it. Depending on the period you are in, it may happen that there is a banner directly on your homepage above. It depends on the initiatives that are underway at any particular moment. Otherwise, the standard route to reach the task wall section is to click on the menu at the top right next to your avatar, and select the item that interests us. If you are interested, you can read this short guide on how it works, otherwise follow this video and I will give you all the useful information. In Offers list you can find the list of all tasks available for you. We must first understand what this section is for. It is a way to earn some extra RLTs by completing more or less simple tasks. It is a win-win mechanism where Rollercoin relies on some external partners that you can see here. Each of these partners allows you to choose between different tasks. If you complete them you will get a reward in the form of RLT tokens which will be credited directly to your wallet on Rollercoin. Let's take one at random as an example. With some small differences they are more or less all similar to each other. Each partner offers you various offers divided into categories. You can choose specific tasks for mobile devices, desktop PCs, or surveys. In the list you can see on the right the amount of RLTs that corresponds to each offer, while in the title there is a brief description of what you are asked to do. In principle, in tasks for desktop PCs you will be asked to register on a site or on some online service, often by completing a payment of a few dollars by credit card. While in tasks for mobile devices you will almost certainly have to install an app, for example a game, and maybe reach a certain level within a certain time limit. You are free to explore on your own. The offers change often, so there is little point in looking at anything in particular. Read carefully the requirements of each offer, make sure you understand what is required. From my direct experience, I can tell you that none of these offers has ever generated me a reward, not even a single cent. Of course the problem is mine. I'm sure that other users are able to earn interesting figures, but in my case, unfortunately, I can confirm that this experience has been a failure from every point of view. And I assure you that I have scrupulously complied with all the requirements. There will be someone luckier. I personally think that this task wall is a good idea, but unfortunately full of issues. If you are interested, you have to investigate on your own, experiment. If you really want to try installing software on your devices, I strongly recommend you take the necessary precautions. The ideal is to use virtual machines dedicated to this purpose and which you will throw away immediately afterwards, if you have no idea how to do it. Search on Google or let me know if you're interested in me explaining this to you with a specific episode, or simply forget it because it's just not worth it. As far as I'm concerned, I consider the experiment a failure and I'm not going to waste any more time. The easiest way to earn a few cents instead is represented by surveys, which if you're lucky you can usually find in this central section called featured offers. In my case, needless to do it on purpose, I usually find this section empty and only in exceptional cases something is offered to me. When there's a survey available that matches your profile, you'll see something like this. By clicking on one of these boxes, when available, you will be redirected to the actual survey page, which is hosted on the servers of the partner services and therefore outside of Rollercoin. If you are lucky at this point, you will be able to complete the survey by answering all the questions and, at the end, you will get the expected reward. The partner servers are often very slow and stressed. You will often be thrown out. For this you must be ready to have a good dose of patience. Getting angry will not help you. When you finally manage to access the actual survey, you will have to answer all the questions that will be proposed to you. At the beginning it is likely that you will be asked some general profiling questions, to understand if you fall within the specific target for this survey, or simply as an anti-bot filter. I advise you to always give valid and coherent answers, otherwise you will be rejected. Remember that you don't need artificial intelligence to realize you're lying, just paper and pen. If today you are a 20-year-old student girl, tomorrow you cannot be a 50-year-old man, CEO of a multinational company. The polls are all different and concern the most varied topics: cinema, TV series, new products about to be launched on the market, politics, current events, general culture. There's no point in showing a full poll because you're likely to see new ones all the time. Also, some of them deal specifically with confidential topics, so you'll have to agree to a non-disclosure agreement at the start. Carefully follow the instructions you will receive from time to time. Completing a survey often takes a long time. Generally, the preview indicates the time needed, but they are random numbers. There are surveys that take minutes and others that will keep you busy for over half an hour. You are free to experiment a bit and decide if this topic interests you. Finally, keep in mind that sometimes, actually quite frequently, a survey can suddenly stop and kick you out for no reason even while you have been filling it out for tens of minutes. As a computer scientist, my personal opinion is that these people are 50% incompetent and 50% in blatant bad faith. This makes you understand how I consider the task walls resource as totally unreliable. You may or may not be lucky. Unfortunately, it is something that everyone must discover for themselves. The vast majority of the time, you will simply be discarded. You click on the poll, but nothing happens. Sometimes you get rejected after the first few questions. The positive aspect, perhaps the only one, is that sometimes even if discarded you can get a cent or two as a consolation prize, and this is still considered valid for the completion of the various tasks. So it may be that you will not get the full promised reward, but at least it will have been useful for completing the daily task or the season quest when scheduled. Finally, let's take a quick look at the latest change introduced, i.e. this contest in which 10,000 RLT tokens are distributed every week to the most active players in completing these tasks. I have already anticipated my opinion in a previous short video. I find this thing dangerous and counterproductive. Those who are interested should go and see what are the effects of the unlimited printing of money. America and Europe know something about it. If every week 10,000 RLT tokens are magically created out of nothing and distributed in rain, the same ones which you who are watching have to pay $1 each, this should make you think. However, unless you are Super Saiyan, forget about entering the rankings as mere mortals. I have a well-founded suspicion that the only ones who can climb the top positions take advantage of affiliations or some unorthodox tricks, so to speak. I can't explain it otherwise. Anyway, I wish you good luck if you want to try, maybe you'll be luckier. Normally at this point I leave you a couple of my personal considerations, but in this case I have already filled the video in several places with what I think of task walls. I just add a very important concept that I was about to forget. The availability of task walls is also and above all linked to your geographical position, i.e. the country from which you connect to the internet. For example, some offers may be available only for North America and not for Europe, or for Asia but not for South America. In my case, in Italy the tasks arrived very late compared to other parts of the world where they had been available for some time. For clarity, I would like to point out that this depends on external partners, not on Rollercoin. The fact remains that it is at least discriminatory for some players who may not even see anything. I don't recommend using a VPN because you could face worse problems. On Rollercoin I mean, someone could find your activities suspicious and fraudulent. It's not worth taking any risks. Listen to my advice and play for fun. I will therefore conclude with a concise final thought on the task wall. The idea is good, there is excellent potential. The results are unfortunately scarce and subjective. The move to distribute tens of thousands of RLTs every week does not help the economy of the game. Indeed, in the long run it can only destroy it. I'm sure some of you will love the tasks, others may have never even seen them. Some players who find themselves in favorable conditions will have an advantage. For others it is just a waste of time and the rewards will be very modest if not zero. Everyone has to make their own reasoning and decide independently. Let me know what you think too. As always, thank you for watching. I hope you found this video helpful in some way. And see you soon for a new topic of this free-to-play Rollercoin tutorial. See you soon.